The weekend is here, which means it's a great time to catch a movie. Let's take a look at some of the new films hitting screens with film critic Richard Crouse. Always great to chat, Rich. And I actually just saw the original again of this movie you're about to review, and I'm curious how the sequel to The Running Man shapes up in your eyes.
I love the original film with Arnold Schwarzenegger from, I think it's 1984. And that movie is a lot of fun. It's an action movie. It's around the height of Arnold Schwarzenegger's action movie star phase, where he had lots of cool one-liners. And it was just, you know, they went for the fun in that movie. This movie, a little less fun. It's Glenn Powell, who's kind of the it guy in Hollywood right now, playing a guy called Ben Richards. It is the near future. The gap between the 1% and the 99% has widened. He can't find a job. His daughter is sick. So he signs up to be part of a Squid Game kind of show called The Running Man, where he essentially just has to stay alive for 30 days, and if he can do that, he'll win a whole bunch of money. Trouble is, the entire country is after him, and there's hunters hunting him, and all kinds of terrible things can happen. So will he survive is the question. And there are a few moments here at the very beginning where you get a good sense of why he's doing that, and the movie sort of establishes its themes. And then it becomes a fairly run-of-the-mill action movie for a while, and leads up to a kind of confusing or maybe just convoluted ending. So it doesn't have the same kind of punch that director Edgar Wright usually brings to his films, but on the big screen it's a little bit of fun. So I gave it, The Running Man, 3 stars out of 5, and it's in theaters right now.
This next film is in the third film in its franchise. I haven't seen the first two, so I'm wondering if I should go back and revisit the first two. Let's talk about Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
Yeah, these movies date back about a decade or so, and it's the story of the Four Horsemen. They are 4 magicians who are extremely talented, best in the world, and they use their magical skills to steal things and give money to the poor and all that kind of thing, sort of like Robin Hood illusionists. And in this one, they're going to get a big diamond from a dealer who is using that money to do terrible things, and this will disrupt her business. She's played by Rosamund Pike. And the thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way about these movies is that there is no sense of awe. There is no sense of astonishment. There's no sense that you get when you're watching real magic happen on a stage. Instead, we get these big magic sequences that are all done with computer-generated imagery. So the magic word here isn't abracadabra, it's CGI. And with CGI, we all know that anything is possible. So it's just another action sequence, and they're not all that interesting, frankly. So as the movie goes on and the story gets a bit more complicated, you don't have to worry about that either, because they explain everything over and over again, just in case you are playing on your phone or you stepped outside the theater for a moment. So Now You See Me, Now You Don't only gets 2 stars from me, because it just doesn't have that kind of sense of wonder that I wanted to. And I think this franchise might be out of magic.
Lacking the magic touch, that's for sure.
That's right.
Let's talk about sentimental value.
Love this movie. This is a 4 out of 5 star movie for me. This is Stellan Skarsgård as the aging father of 2 daughters he's been estranged from for some time. He is a legendary Norwegian filmmaker, and he wants to come back and make one more film about his troubled family, but using his daughters as the stars. One is an actress, one is a former actress. And this is a family drama that is a lot funnier than I just made it sound. It's also a lot more engaging. These characters are so interesting in the way that they are estranged from one another. And when you see Stellan Skarsgård giving what I think is absolutely a lock for an Academy Award nomination, at least maybe a win, as the director here, you'll see that the interesting part of this isn't about whether or not the family gets together, but just how they exist. It's called Sentimental Value. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and this is good stuff in theaters now.
And to close it off, we have an animated adventure comedy called In Your Dreams.
Yeah, this is on Netflix right now, and it is the story of two kids whose parents may be possibly splitting up. So they go into their dreams and they try and find the Sandman so that he can grant them a wish, the wish of getting the parents back together. And it's a lovely film, nicely animated with some interesting characters, particularly in the dream sequences. And it's got some good messages for families about, being the perfect family and how important is that. It's also a movie that might be just a little bit too intense for kids, maybe under 5, with some of the nightmare sequences and some of the frank talk about divorce. But In Your Dreams is still a 3.5-star movie for me, and it's on Netflix right now.
Always appreciate it. Thanks, Rich.